I'm going to go back over what I've got so far, and then we'll see who I missed. And if you want to check on in here after I go over the list, we'll get you down. First on there was WA4SKU Mike with a comment, N8POG Rick with a comment, N4VGI Bob with a comment, Whiskey 4 Whiskey Whiskey Sierra Steve here in Paducah, no comment, WB5VQX Mike in Eddyville, no comment, KN4MAA, I believe it was Rich, and I have you down, no comment, and then I had a Whiskey 4 Hotel November India. Didn't get a name. Did get a Logan County. Can you give me your name, sir? And if you have comments for the net. Whiskey 4 Hotel November India. This is K4KMW.
Well, my phonetic is a little bit different, and I was afraid I stepped on somebody, so I backed out kind of quick. W4HNI, Hungry National Indian, Logan County, Kentucky, Lewisburg.
Yes, sir. What's the handle on your end, sir? And do you have a comment for the net tonight?
I'll goober, and I'll think of something to comment on before it's over. I'll hang around. W4HNI.
All right, QSL got you down for a comment, sir. I also had KK4NZN Linda with a comment, KM4SMR Bill with just check in, check out. N4JTQ, Rick in Sevierville. Rick, I had you down for a comment, but we had a lot of double in there, so you can let me know when I get back to you if you don't have a comment. I got KE4YRI, Mike, with a comment. N4HZX, Tom. I didn't catch all of yours. I believe Odie got you as well. Put you down as a comment, and then W4IOD, Otis with intermission. Do we have anyone else that wants to join the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net? Please call Net Control K4KMW.
WA4DDR, Whiskey Alpha 4 Delta Delta Romeo, WJ Louisville, in and out. RT, Tracy, Callaway. KM4, KVO, Mike, Calvert City, no comment. Kilo Golf 4, Lima, Sierra Bravo. This is David, Greensville, Kentucky. Just put me down for short time tonight, Kyle, with no comments. I'm eating supper, so I'll catch you guys later. KG4 LSB.
Kilo Juliet Forward, Tango Kilo Lima, James, Tree County, no comment.
All right, not hearing any other further check-ins. We picked up WA4DDR, WJ in Louisville, in and out. We've got KN4IRT, Tracy in Callaway. I put you down for a comment, Tracy. I didn't hear the beginning of your transmission. You and WJ's was in there together. KN4KVO, Mike, in and out there at Calvert City. Thanks for joining us, Mike. Good to hear you in there. KG4LSB, David, got you down, sir, in and out. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your dinner. And KJ4TKL, James in Trigg County, in and out. Thanks, James, for joining us. Do we have anyone else who'd like to join us on the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net? If so, call Net Control K4KMW.
AK4FN, Alpha Kilo 4, Foxtrot November. John in Fredonia, I'll be in and out.
N4MHT, November 4, Mike Hotel Tango, Mike in Princeton. Comment this evening. All right, we picked up AK4FN. John in Fredonia got you down in and out. John, thanks for joining us. And I also picked up N4MHT, Mike in Princeton, with a comment. Let's go ahead and start getting some of these comments in, and we'll pick up anyone else that wants to join us a little bit later. Let's go back to the beginning there. WA4SKU, Mike and Eubank, take it away with your comments for the net, sir.
Okay, hello Kyle, WA4SKU, Eubank, Kentucky, which is near Somerset, the Lake Cumberland area. Not much going on today. Been out just running around, running the roads. I did watch W5KUB on YouTube a lot today and watched Huntsville, and I'll probably do the same tomorrow, watch some of the Huntsville Ham Fest. I did see Jerry and Gene on there, and I saw Edgar and Charlene on there, and also saw Ron and Palma on the TV screen today. And I think I got photographs of them off of the screen, so that was fun, getting to watch them. Got to go around and look at all the different tables at Huntsville via the YouTube. So I got home real quick. After it was over, I was home. That was pretty good. I like that. I can't think of much else going on. So I'll just turn it back over to you. Sounds like you've had you've got a real good net going, and I guess you're looking forward to the intermission when Otis gets up here. He's a good intermission person. Hello to all my friends, WA4.
All right, WA4SKU, K4KMW. Thank you there, Mike, for joining us, and that sounds neat. I'm going to have to check that out. I didn't know they had that on, I believe you said YouTube. I'll have to get on there and look at that, take a little tour of the Hamfest. I wish I could have gone, but was not able to. Let's go ahead and get N8POG Rick in for comments. Go ahead with your comments, sir. K4KMW.
All right, Kyle. Good evening to you, buddy, and good evening to everyone on the net this evening. Not a big lot going on around here today. We haven't felt the best, and so we've kind of stayed pretty much incognito and took some little pain medicine, spent some quality time with my recliner, and everything is progressing along nicely. I did manage to sell a couple of HF rigs today that I've been wanting to pedal here, and I got some of those, some of my inventory cut down. So 2 down and about 4 more to go, I think. So anyway, it's kind of trimming the crop here. Anyway. Good to hear Mike in there this evening, and I heard Linda, and just a big bunch of friends in here. And that thing, the video at Huntsville, that was very nice. I only managed to see Miss Jean as far as people that I knew. I saw some more familiar faces, but couldn't put a name with them. So that's just friends that I haven't met yet, I guess. Anyway, Kyle, thanks a lot for running the net this evening, my friend, and you have a great evening, and God bless each and every one of you listening. This is N8 for Old Grandpa. Good evening.
All right, N8POG, K4KMW returning. Thanks, Rick, for joining us, and thanks for your kind words for the net and everyone out there listening tonight. And I hope that everyone has a good, safe trip there into Huntsville for the Ham Fest, and look forward to picking some of those folks back up next weekend there on the net. And we'll just continue right on here. There I had Steve, W4WWS, short time, and then I had WB5VQX Mike, short time, and KN4MAA, Rich, and then we had W4HNI. Go ahead with your comments, sir, for the net. K4KMW.
Was the only one I've talked to on this thing. Back in 50, when I was up at UK. And I don't know, just brought back some memories, and I haven't been on the net in a long time. Called the HF net for many, many years. 3990. And I grabbed onto this fusion stuff and thought, well, I'm going to try to learn that. And guess what? I ain't learned much yet. Well, thank you, sir. Whiskey for a hungry, nasty Indian, be clear.
All right, W4HNI, K4KMW. Appreciate to have you in there, sir. Was a little bit of packet drop on you, but we, for the most part, got your message, and we're glad to have you in here with us. And I've got to apologize to Bob. I skipped him here. I overlooked his call here. N4VGI, take it away with your comments for the net, sir.
N4 VGI here in Lone Oak. Well, that's A-okay. I was going to listen anyway, Kyle. Good being here this evening. We've got family in from Danville, Kentucky. So it's really great. And he is the other twin, so we've got twin boys. And they've got their grandkids with us, so that is tremendous. And let's see here. Went over to the other son's house, and all the kids swam, and so they had a good time that way. And got back to the house, and my son installed a new router for me that's supposed to be faster. It seems like it is, so that'll be good. All in all, we've had a good day around here, Kyle, and I have been listening to videos on YouTube on this new fusion stuff that's in the works and trying to learn what I can. So, anyway, probably have more questions for you than I've got answers. But we'll meet up one of these days. Hope the young one's doing fine and your other daughter is in good shape and your wife, and hope all the family is A-okay. So with that, we'll turn it back to you. Have a good rest of the net. Thanks again for calling it. N4VGI back to net control.
All right, QSL, N4VGI, K4KMW returning. Thanks, Bob, for checking in. And sorry again, I skipped you there. I'm trying to adapt to this new check-in list there that Jerry Downey, K4ULE, made for the group. It's a spreadsheet, it's real nice laid out, got everybody numbered. And it allows me to kind of identify folks that's not ever checked in with us before. Jerry keeps a pretty close eye on new people that check in with us, and keeps it updated pretty regularly. So I got to thank him for that, even though I believe he's at Huntsville tonight enjoying the Ham Fest. So, and it's always good to hear that you have family in, Bob. I appreciate you taking the time to join the net there, even though you got family, and that's real good that you take time out for us there to jump in here, and I hope that internet gets fast for you and you don't have no more troubles there. And we got to schedule a meetup, friend, and mess with some of these fusion radios. So, all right, let's get back to the list. Next on there was KK4NZN. Miss Linda, take it away with your comments for the net.
Well, thank you, Kyle, for getting me in here. This is KK4NZN, Linda. I really don't have much to say. It's been a good day, and we got a little bit of rain this morning, and I'm just looking forward to going to church tomorrow. 73 to all, and thank you for taking care of this net. I'll be gone.
All right, KK4NZN, K4KMW returning. Apologize about that. My chicken scratch on my tablet here is a little off. Appreciate you checking in, Miss Linda, and glad you had a good day, and looking forward to tomorrow there for church. So, okay, next in there was KM4SMR, Bill. He was short time. Thanks, Bill, for joining us. And then we had N4JTQ, Rick, and I believe Sevierville area. Take it away if you have comments for the net there, Rick.
K4, KMW, N4JTQ. Good evening, Kyle, and good evening to the net. I hope that was me you called, as I got a little bit of breakup. Let me check and make sure before I continue.
Oh, you're doing real well there, Rick. You continue on K4KMW.
All right, well, thank you, sir. We've had all kinds of issues here, especially tonight and then last week, so working on trying to get them resolved. We've got several variables here, but we'll get it worked out and everything. Just want to say hello to you and everyone else up there. Hope everybody who went to Huntsville had a good time, and I'm going to check out the YouTube videos as well. Weather's been nice this afternoon. Can't complain at all. We've had partly cloudy skies, but the sun has been popping through. Had a little bit of rain earlier this morning. But anyway, wanted to check in with you, and thank you, sir. Appreciate you doing the net. You guys do an awesome job up there in Kentucky. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, my friend. Have a good evening. Tell the family hello. And we'll be listening in. K4, KMW, and N4JTQ.
All right, N4JTQ, K4KMW returning. Thanks, Rick, for checking in with us. You were solid into my node station through the Princeton room through your entire transmission. So maybe you got your issues resolved. It's sounding real well into Kentucky. Okay, next on the list, I believe it was KE4YRI. Mike, take it away with your comments for the net, sir.
Kyle, excuse me, everybody on the net, just wanted to, glad to be back. Had the WiresX off for 2 weekends, doing some maintenance while I was out of town. I got everything updated and cleaned up, so everything's working fine. And just apologize for those that wanted to use it while I was gone. But that's just part of it. Everybody's sounding good up here in Shelbyville. We're linked to, I've got Will's machine, the KB4PTJ 050 machine linked up, and everybody's sounding good. Glad to be back. 73s. KE4YRI.
KE4YRI, K4KMW returning. Thanks for checking in with us, Mike, and completely understand about the node maintenance there. It seems like that I have had to do a lot of node maintenance here lately. Thanks in part to Yazoo for deciding to change their firmware several times. And I believe I'm going to have second thoughts and may end up going back to the original before it's all said and done. But appreciate you checking in, Mike. It's good to have you back in there, and we look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Okay, next there was N4HZX. Tom. Tom, did you have comments on that? If so, take it away. K4KMW.
Good evening, Net, and Kyle as well. This is N4HZX. Actually, I didn't have any comments, but I could probably make up a few on the fly here and go have a back to school gathering for my daughter here this afternoon. So there was a lot of laughter and fun coming out of the house. So it was kind of nice. When the rain came in, they decided that it was Netflix time, so they moved on. On the technical aspect, I was very fortunate and won a DMR radio at the Lexington Hamfest. And the reason I mention it here on the Fusion Network, grateful for the radio trying to set it up, but they are way more complex than C4FM. So there's a big difference with time taking it out of the box and getting on the air. But many of you may already know that. I had not experienced that before, but wanted to pass that on. So Fusion's still a little bit easier, obviously, to use. And with that, I'll turn it back to Net Control. Hope you're having a good day. Lots of rain in Shelby County. This is N4HZX.
All right, N4HZX, K4KMW, Net Control. Thanks, Tom, for coming in there with a comment. I apologize, didn't catch it the first time. I believe you and Odie come through partially at the same time. So appreciate you checking in with us. And thanks for the news out of your area, and congratulations on winning the radio, and also congratulations to those kiddos going back to school. I've got a young girl here that just started kindergarten here last week. She's gone through one full week of school, and she's been very wore out today, and the last couple of days, really, she just couldn't wait to get to Saturday quick enough. So it's always good there to get them out of the house a little bit, but sure, Mom and Dad sure do miss her being at school. So, all right, thanks, Tom. Let's go ahead and let me get an intermission here. W4IOD, K4KMW. Go ahead with your comments, Odie.
K4KMW, W4IOD. Very good evening, Kyle, and everyone else on the net. Otis here in Stamping Ground, Kentucky. I'll give you a break and sort of go on a Dynaflow here. Let you collect everything and do a little paperwork while I ramble on. But we've had a pretty good day, considering we went to work today. But it is peak season, so no Huntsville, Alabama Hamfest for us. It's just part of life. You work in the HVAC industry. This seems to be peak season, but hopefully you're doing well. Just a comment on the kids starting kindergarten, and the next thing you know, it seems like a blink of an eye, she'll be graduating high school. Well, we've done that with ours. It seems like the older we get, the faster the time goes by, and the oldest grandson is a freshman in high school this year, and the middle grandson is in the 5th grade. But it does go by fast, so we're appreciative of that. We're only here for a little while, so we try to enjoy every day that the good Lord has blessed us. But onward and upward from that, a little bit of HF activity this evening for the North American QSO party. Don't know how we'll feel after the net, whether we'll get involved with that or not, but we look forward to talking 2-meter sideband every Sunday morning, so we'll probably do a little bit of that. And then if the rain holds off, we probably need to try to get the grass mowed. But just a quick comment. Let me let the system reset. As far as the aforementioned Yaesu WiresX software, they haven't done any firmware releases yet, thank goodness. Did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. Anymore, it seems like, as we discussed a little prior to the net via text, anymore the end user is the beta tester for Yaesu. Really don't appreciate that, and I am a big fan of the WiresX and the whole Yaesu system as far as ease of use, like N4HZX Tom had mentioned. But come on, guys, get your stuff together. We're not beta testers. Most of us have invested money, and repeater owners are not as fortunate as me to have one on site. They actually have to travel to do the software updates. And when you strongly recommend upgrading to that, make sure that we have our ducks in a row. And just a quick comment on your issue. I've experienced the same issue, Kyle, as far as the off-air lighting up, but with a reboot of the router and a reboot of the computer, it seems to have settled down. The only time I see the light really light up now is when someone unkeys and you get the confirmation tone that comes across the system. It'll blink with it. So that's the only glitch that I saw. Now, NG0O, that's Marvin over in Eminence. He's going to have to, based on his comments yesterday evening, have to uninstall the entire thing. And then I think he's going back with the aforementioned 1C2 or 1.3. But that's where we're at on that. I try to post as I can on the Kentucky All Fusion Digital Facebook page. Yaesu unfortunately has locked their comments down to needing approval from admin, and if you got anything constructive, negative, or anything they deem not warranted to be posted, it's not posted. So a little bit of censorship going on there. Not that I'm a conspiracy theorist, and not that I want to ramble on here all night. I do not. Let me let it reset again. This is W4IOD returning with the Kentucky All Fusion Digital Net, but it causes a lot of grief for the end users, which I enjoy the radio, and I enjoy the WiresX system. I have invested time and money, and a lot of other folks have. So we respectfully ask that John Crook, N9UPC, and Yaesu America, please, guys, get your act together And I have seen a couple of comments from Mal over in Queensland. He's having issues, and I'm sure that's probably why he's not joined us in a while. I've seen him connect, but never the comments come across because he's not only having issues with the Wires X, he's having Windows 10 issues. So hopefully he'll get that resolved. For the most part, just a quick comment on why you see that Gulf whiskey. That is a gateway, and I responded to your text message. And for the new users like Goober, you're a little garbled into the Wires X system, Goober. I don't know if that's an internet issue on your end or Desense or what, but sometimes we hear you fine and sometimes not so much. But welcome to Wires X. And just a tip, as far as the Wires X system, key the microphone, wait a couple of seconds, begin talking, and then when you finish talking, don't unkey. Allow the voice to pass across the Wires X system, and then unkey. Because unfortunately, if you quick key, as far as unkeying, it chops off the end of your audio. Kyle, I'm done with my Dynaflow and tips and venting and all that, but everyone have a great evening. Thanks for calling the net, and with that said, hopefully you're caught up. I'm about out of breath. K4KMW, W4IOD, a very good evening to you, Kyle, and everyone else on the net.
W4IOD, K4KMW returning. Thank you, Odie, for the break. I got caught up on paperwork and seen the timer almost bump twice on my nose there. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I appreciate you always being a wealth of knowledge in the Yaesu Wires X and Fusion system. It's a whole lot of help to the new guys that are not familiar with the way it works. And I misspoke earlier and said firmware, but you're very correct. It's software that we're all having issues with, and hopefully this little offline-online issue goes away. I did reset the router earlier, and I've reset the PC a couple times today because I've come in and found my node station shows it connected to the Princeton room, but shows it with a red offline emblem in the right-hand corner, so I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's actually disconnected. Next time I want to try it and see. So, all right, thanks, Odie. Let's go ahead to next on the list there. Well, wait a minute. Before I go any further, I'm going to acknowledge I had N9GTO Lou in Indiana and W4RRA Rodney in Lewisburg check in on Facebook message. Rodney said he had to work a 12-plus hour shift today and was not going to be able to check in, and Lou has said he's off camping with the family. So appreciate you guys joining us there digitally through the internet. So anyway, let's back up and let's pick up KN4RT. Tracy, do you have comments from the net? If so, take it away, K4KMW.
Hello there, K4KMW and the rest of the net. Good evening to everyone. It's been a good day again today. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to Huntsville as originally planned, but got some things taken care of around the house as far as maintenance that needed to be done. So that's the pleasure of owning a home. Just want to remind everybody about the Hot August Blues Festival. Lou was in the office last week. We secured the special events insurance and the weather insurance, and I told him that we had had a conversation about the Hot August Blues Festival last week on the net, so just give you all a reminder on that. And that's about it for me. So with that being said, I'll turn it back over to Net Control. This is KN4IRT, and I'll be clear.
All right, KN4IRT, K4KMW returning. All right, appreciate you joining us, Tracy, and thanks for the reminder about the Blues Festival. Actually, was talking to Mikey earlier there at Princeton. He was talking about getting the camper ready to head up for that and have a big old time. So that sounds like a lot of fun. I was telling him I really needed to check that out sometime. I enjoy that type of music, and it's always great to see it live there. So also going to back up and acknowledge WJ4DDR. WJ in Louisville was in and out station. Thanks for joining us, WJ. Appreciate you joining on the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net, and look forward to hearing from you next Saturday. All right, next on the list was KN4KVO, Mike in Calvert City. Thanks for joining us, Mike, and we appreciate you having you in here, and hoping you're enjoying Fusion so far. And we'll catch you next Saturday there on the net. We also had KG4LSB, David, in Greenville. Thanks, David, for joining us. Also, and hope you're enjoying Fusion, and look forward to seeing you next Saturday on the net. Had KJ4TKL, James, and Trig. As always, James, thanks for joining us. Appreciate having you in there. And AK4FN, John from Fredonia. And always appreciate John. He takes care of a lot of the stuff there for the Princeton Ham Club, and he takes care of the computers and whatnot there for the club. And actually was able to message John there one night during the week. I tried to get in the Princeton room, and it was showing the room was down, couldn't get in. John remoted in, reset it, and got everything back up and running. So appreciate you doing that, John, and as always, appreciate the things you do for us. All right, next on the list was Mikey, N4MHT. I have to say thank you to you, Mikey, for covering me last weekend on the net control, and I hear you did a real good job. Apologize I didn't get to check in. We were up in the LBL area, and the kiddos were having fun riding bicycles and playing, and we just got involved in that so deep that we didn't even raise the antenna up on the truck. So take it away with your comments from the net, sir. K4KMW.
Well, Kyle, you need a break every once in a while, and it's great that you take it with the kids. So no harm, no foul there. Glad you didn't check in. Glad you had time to spend with the family and got out there and did some stuff with them. No problem on calling the net. I've done a few in my day, so just let me know in plenty of time, and we'll hook up. Yeah, getting kind of antsy about the Blues Fest. It's time now. It's time to get the heebie-jeebie going. Always look forward to it. This year ought to be a dandy. Still thinking that Saturday morning we ought to get together for breakfast. All you guys and gals out there that's going to be down there from the Kentucky All Digital Net here. Linda and Tracy, and seemed like there was somebody else last week that said they were going, but I can't remember who. Anyway, Site 63, and give me a call or shout or something here. Send me an email, n4mht at mchsi.com. I'm good on QRZ. So shoot me an email if you want to do something Saturday morning, 9 or 10. Everybody get together for breakfast, and I'll be happy to cook. I used to do that all the time down there. I've fed as many as 20, 25 people. So we've had big fun. All right, Kyle, that's about it from here. I'm going to turn it back to you. Thank you for showing up every week, almost every week. You're doing good. Anyway, and thanks for Odie for the break there. I'll thank him too. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. 73 from N4MHD. And by the way, when the net's over, doesn't mean the frequency closes. Y'all keep on talking here on the machine. 73. Bye-bye.
All right, N4MHT, K4KMW returning there, net control. Appreciate you, Mikey. As I said earlier, thank you for covering me, and hope you have a good upcoming event there with the camping at the Blues Festival. That sounds like a lot of fun there, and I hope it all goes off without any issues. And definitely have to keep that in mind the next time that comes around. If I can make a chance to get up there, I'm going to come up and eat some of your food. All right, Mike, appreciate you again. All right, that's the bottom of the list, folks. I'm going to open it back up for check-ins. Anyone would like to join the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net, go ahead and call Net Control now, K4KMW.
KM4, LVP, Kilo Mike 4, Lincoln Delta Papa, Jeff in Lone Oak, Kentucky, no comments.
Kilo 4.
No comments.
K4KMW, let's stop right there just a second. I had two doubles there. I picked up KW4KL, I believe, out of that. And then I had a Kilo 4 Foxtrot Whiskey. I don't believe I got all the call or the comment. Come back with that KK4 FW and whatever the rest is.
Kilo 4 Foxtrot Whiskey Uniform Mobile in Clark County. Name is Bill. No comment. KN4IRN Kilo November 4 India Romeo November Stephen out of Callaway County.
In the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net, but if it is, appreciate having you in there, and maybe you can join us there next Saturday and give us a comment. Let me back up to KW4KL, Joey in Princeton. Do you have comments from the net, sir?
Good evening, Kyle. No, I have no comments tonight. Just enjoying the cooler weather today and sitting out on the patio. So I'll turn it back to you. This is KW4KL, back to net control.
All right, QSL, KW4KL, K4KMW returning. And I'm also going to acknowledge KM4LDP, Jeff, there in the Lone Oak, Paducah area. Appreciate you joining us, Jeff, and as always, good to hear from you. And we hope to have you back next weekend, next Saturday night there at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And let's go ahead and see if we can't pick someone else up. That's the bottom of the list. If you'd like to join the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net, call K4KMW.
K4, KMW, Kimball Block, 4, Charlie, K4CHW, Chuck in Callaway.
KN4 Kilo November 4 India Romeo November Stephen Callaway.
NG0O, November Golf, 0 Oscar, Marvin, Henry County. Short time, please.
All right, I picked up a K4CHW, but it cut out with the doubling. So I'll come back to you, sir. And then I had a KN4IRN, Stephen in Callaway. I also didn't know if you had comments, Stephen, so I'll come back to you in just a moment. And then I had an NG0O, Marvin in Henry County, short time. Appreciate you joining us, Marvin. Let me back up to K4CHW. Come back with your handle and QTH or your location, and if you have a comment from the net.
Hey, good evening, Kyle, Chuck, Charlie, Hotel, Uniform, Charlie Kilo, Chuck in Callaway County, Kilowatt 4, Charlie Hotel Whiskey. I'm also short of time, so just wanted to come in and say hello to everyone. I'll try to join your net a little more often from time to time, but glad I got in this evening, and I'll wish you 73 from K4 CHW.
All right, QSL, K4CHW, K4KMW returning. Thanks, Chuck, for joining us. Appreciate it. I just did look down at the phone at the Facebook Messenger there, so appreciate you taking time to get in there, and look forward to maybe having you back. And that definitely answers why I didn't hear you. We had double with you and Stephen, which was probably also coming through the Hamlin repeater. So let's get Stephen a try. KN4IRN, you have comments on the net? If so, take it away.
Good evening, Kyle, and the rest of the net. This is KN4IRN. Chuck, sorry about doubling with you there, and I'll try not to quick key next time. Not a lot going on today, really, anything exciting, other than did get my dad out, who's been battling with a knee being removed due to staph infection, so he got out. We went to eat at a local restaurant here for the first time, and KN4IRT joined us, and also another buddy, KN4NSQ, he joined us. So we just had a good time, and other than that, just sitting outside here in my mobile unit enjoying the evening. It's not too hot, so looking forward to the Hot August Blues Festival myself coming up next weekend, and it sounds like we're going to see a few other hams there and maybe get together for some good food. Other than that, I'll say, Kyle, I'll turn it back over to you. Appreciate you running the net here, and 73 to everybody. This is KN4IR.
Okay, KN4IRN, K4KMW returning. I appreciate you joining us there, Stephen. Sorry to hear about, I believe it was your father or your grandfather, one of the two, Didn't hear all of that conversation, but definitely sorry to hear about his loss of his leg there, or knee, and I hope he's doing real well, and it's good that you was able to get him out and go have some lunch or dinner there as you did today. And I appreciate you joining us. Good to hear from you guys in Callaway. Got that Hamlin repeater running, and we've done picked up 2 guys here at the end off the Hamlin repeater, so it's doing real good. All right, let's see what else we got. We had NG0O Marvin with Short Time in Henry County. Thanks for joining us, Marvin. And then that's the bottom of the list again. If you'd like to join the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net, please call K4KMW.
Kilo Alpha 4, Juliet Whiskey Bravo, in and out.
W4IOD, recheck.
All right, picked up K84JWB, Jason there in Hopkinsville. Thanks for joining us, Jason, there a short time. Appreciate having you in there. We also picked up a recheck, W4IOD. Go ahead with your recheck, K4KMW.
K4KMW, W4IOD, returning. Just wanted to let you know that when you acknowledged, I believe you acknowledged Phil, KK4FWU, that's Phil in Clark County. There was a little doubling with you, and I don't think you got that in there, but just making sure for confirmation purposes. When you get a chance just to touch base, I'd like permission to go direct with NG0O. It may be beneficial to the group as far as his WiresX software. Just wanted to touch base with him and let him share with the group while we're all together about what he's running and how well it's performing for him. At your discretion, sir. W4IOD, back to net control.
All right, OD, K4KMW returning. We'll acknowledge KK4FWU, a mobile station, Phil in Clark County. I got you in there, sir, and I did mark you a short time, so if you have a comment, make sure you come back and let me know. And appreciate having you in there. I've actually looked at my list here, and I've got a call similar to yours, but I believe it's in there incorrect, I believe, so we'll change that. But anyway, thanks again, Phil, and I'm going to turn it back to W4IOD for his direct. K4KMW, standing by.
We appreciate that, Kyle. NG0O, W4IOD, you still monitoring the net there, Marvin?
And W4IOD, this is NG0. Go ahead, Otis.
Well, good evening, Marvin. Glad you could join us on the net this evening. Earlier, during the comment session, I had made comments in regards to the new and latest, greatest offerings from Yaesu USA. And there are a few of us that are experiencing issues with that, but most notably, you're the one that is experiencing the greatest amount of problems with that software install. Mine and Kyle's issues were pretty much the same as far as the indicator indicating we were offline. But if you're on your machine, and have you uninstalled 141, and if so, what version have you rolled it back to, and how is that working for you? Over.
Hey, Roger Otis, W4OD. Yes, it got to be an issue where it was a daily occurrence about the same time every day that the WiresX software would shut down, and actually restart the WiresX software all over, and once it done that, it would come up where it was actually showing offline, and it continued to show it was offline until actually I ended up having to reboot the repeater, restart the software, and once I done that, it came up and it was back online until about another 24 hours, and same problem again. So as of last night, I took the newest version completely off the computer, went back in and reinstalled from the CD that I got was the HRI 200, which I think was like a version 1.12, I believe, and actually I'd upgraded to version 1.30 and hadn't had any issues with it. So once I downgraded from the upgraded, put the CD software back on, I went into Yaesu's side and upgraded to the version 1.3, which I had no issues with. And since I put it back on, it's been running for about 24 hours and haven't had an issue with it since I've re-put the version 1.3 back on the computer.
Roger. Well, we're glad to hear that that 1.3 is working for you, and I wanted to share that with the group in case they are having issues. They can actually uninstall and reinstall, I guess, 1.3. 1.2.2 was stable, and that's what we upgraded Mike from. He's at 1.4 with no issues. So at this point, I'm going to pull a KB4 PTJ, Mr. Jones down there in Williamsburg a moment and say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Just continue on the software would be my recommendation without upgrading until there's some time passed and all issues have been resolved. But we appreciate that, Marvin, and that update, and I appreciate Kyle allowing me to go direct and share this on the net. Have a great evening over there. I'll clear with you, NG0, W4IOD, and I will turn it back to net control. Thank you very much, Kyle, K4KMW, W4IOD.
All right, W4IOD, K4KMW returning. Thanks for going and having Marvin come in there and explain the steps he took. I will probably be venturing back that direction myself here tonight before bed and get us back to the 1.3. And as you said, if it ain't broke, don't be trying to fix it. So we're going to go back to what we know worked and leave it there until Yaesu gets done beta testing. Okay, that's the end of the list again. Is there anyone else out there that wants to join the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net? If so, please call Net Control K4KMW. All right, K4KMW station. I could make out some of what you were coming with. I see you were coming through AK4FN node. Let's try one more time, see if I can get you in there and get you down here on the list. K4KMW, go ahead with your check-in. Okay, QSL, KN4MZR, and quick check of QRZ shows the name is Logan. Is that the correct name, sir? Okay, QSL, you've joined us. This is the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net. You just so happen to be coming through AK4FN's node, and I believe John actually has his node set up as analog FM. so I'm not sure if you're using a Fusion radio, but glad to have you in there. See, North Carolina is the home QTH, and I copied that you were in a RV there. So I'm going to give you another comment there, and then we'll clear with you, sir. All right, KN4MZR, K4KMW, net control here. Appreciate you joining us there, Logan. And we've got you down on the log. If you have a Facebook, what you can do, you can go and search the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Network. We have a web page as well, and you can see what we do. We have a weekly net that's you're basically linked into a simplex node station there that allows you into the digital network. And you're communicating all through the state of Kentucky and down into the Sevierville, Tennessee area. And looks like, I believe, Hamilton, Ohio, and just a lot of different places there throughout the area. So we appreciate you joining us, and have safe travels there in the Hopkinsville area. K4KMW, net control. Is there anyone else that would like to check in with the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net? Please call now.
K4KMW, net control. Please copy. Kilo 2, India, Charlie Uniform. KK2, ICU, Bob. Scott County, Georgetown. Coming in off of W4 IOD repeater. Good evening, Kyle.
Okay, KK2, ICU. K4KMW returning. Go ahead, Bob, if you have any comments for the net. Sounded good coming through Odie's repeater. Take it away if you do have comments. K4KMW.
No real comments, Kyle. Just heard you in there and thought I might have missed the net tonight and said, oh, wait a minute, it's almost over. I need to check into it and say hi to Kyle at least and everyone else in the group. But, yeah, we got cloudy skies here in Georgetown this evening, and no rain has fallen as of yet, but that's due to change here shortly, I believe. KK2ICU, back to you, net control.
All right, Roger. KK2ICU, K4KMW. Thanks for joining us, Bob. It's good to hear you in there. I haven't been able to talk to you in a while. Been busy, and I hope everything's going good for you. I'm going to say we've been very fortunate here in the western part of Kentucky today. We've had real beautiful skies and a little cloudy at times, but for the most part, the sun's been shining. It's been a real nice day. So I'm sorry for all those folks that are catching all that rain and storms that are northeast of us. So hope you guys make it out through all that all right. Okay. That makes 32 check-ins. Do we have anyone else that wants to join the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net before we start closing down? I'm going to get on a list of rechecking the call it control K4MW.
RYS in CX a recheck.
904 Juliet Charlie, Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, I've got to go back. I thought I seen KK4RYS. I'm not sure if that was the repeater keying and showing on the screen or if that was someone coming through there. And we got N4HZX, Tom, on a recheck, and I picked up NZ4JC, Junior, in Trinidad. Let me back up to that KK4RYS station. You still in there? K4KMW.
Oh, how you doing, Kyle? This is KK4RYS. Yeah, just coming back up from Huntsville Hamfest. Me and KC4FIE had a little fun down there. A couple other guys from our area went down there with us, and it was a load of fun. I figured I'd try to catch you guys on this net before it's over with, before I pulled up in the drive home. Hope everyone's doing a good one and having a good Saturday, and I'll hopefully see you guys next Saturday. This is KK4 ROS back to next control.
All right, KK4 RYS, K4KMW. Thanks, Nate, for joining us, and glad to hear you guys had a good day there at the Hamfest, and safe travels back. And you can say hello to Brian for me. I've been hearing Brian and all you guys there in the mornings, every morning when I leave for work, Monday through Friday. When I go out here to exit 16 on I-24, your 440 repeater is booming in here, full scale on the radio. But you guys, y'all chit-chat so fast I can't ever get in there, so I'm going to have to break y'all up one of these mornings and see if I can make the trip back to Madisonville from Paducah. But sounding real good having this way. Thanks, Nate, for joining us, and I hope you bought a lot of stuff at the Hamfest. All right, I'm going to pick up N4HZX, Tom, for a recheck. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. Just one thing I was going to mention. I didn't mention this earlier, but after especially Odie and Marvin mentioned the 1.4, 1.41 woes, Chris Peterson, who's sort of the, I guess, the server operator of the MinWiz network, probably a lot of y'all know that on Facebook. If some of you don't have that, he posted today that they're officially taking their server back to 1.3 tonight. But he also posted something that was interesting, and I have nothing to back this up, but he said that he didn't feel there was a need to roll back the nodes. It seems like the server is the issue that they have with that. So I don't know if that saves anybody any trouble, or if you're having trouble with it yourself, but that might be something to look up on before you jump into it and have to spend a bunch of time installing and uninstalling. At least that's from him, or maybe even reach out with a text to him to find out what they're saying. But I thought that was worth mentioning if some of you hadn't seen that on his site today, but I did want to mention it. With that, I'll turn it back over to the net control. Thanks. This is N4HZX.
All right, N4HZX, K4KMW. Thanks for coming back in there, Tom, and sharing that information with everyone. That's very interesting. And I'm almost of the opinion that I think we all should have left it alone. I know everybody's anticipating the ability to use the FT2 and the 400 and the 100 as a mobile node, but I would have rather have them have waited and perfected it before releasing it. But yes, thanks, Tom, for that information. Let's go ahead and pick up Junior NZ4 JC, I believe it is. Take it away with your comments for the net, sir.
Good night, Net Control. Kilo 4 Kilo Mike Whiskey Kyle. Good night to you and all the other operators reading tonight's net. The name is Junior, Juliet Uniform November India. Oscar, wrong. Juliet Uniform November India Oscar Romeo. My head just kind of went off a bit there. Sorry about that. And I'm transmitting from Trinidad and Tobago. The call sign is 9 Zulu 4 Juliet Charlie. Nothing much to report. Yes, we had some nice sunshine this morning. And this afternoon we got some rain. This afternoon. Presently, it's 82.9 degrees Fahrenheit in the shack. And basically, I just like to get in my name on the log. Back to you, Net Control.
All right, Niner Zulu 4 Juliet Charlie. Sorry about that, Junior. I knew the call and had it wrote down right, but the head and the mouth did not cooperate. It come out as N instead of 9, so I apologize. And as always, it's great to hear from Tobago, Trinidad. Always like hearing those DX stations. And we're definitely missing our friend Mal in New Queensland, Australia. Hope he gets his Wires X node and radio back up where we can make contact with him again. Okay, bottom of the list. Let's see if we can't get someone else in here. If not, we'll start shutdown. If you'd like to join the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net, please call Net Control K4KMW.
K4KMW, that's 4 8
All right, W4HNI, K4KMW. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I apologize everybody on the net. This is the first one I've ever checked into. Matter of fact, I just hooked the radio up today, and Odie's the only one I talked to, and he should have corrected me about that. Wait a minute. So, I apologize to the group. W4H, and I'll be clear.
All right, W4HNI, K4KMW. You're still having trouble in there tonight, Goober. You're not making you're in and out. Your signal's there 1 minute and then it's out again. So I'm not sure if the nodes you're talking to is having internet troubles or if it's some of the software upgrades or what's going on. But glad you come in there and talked. I did hear you say something about Odie, so you may have to make contact with him and get these things straightened out for you. All right, anyone else wants to join us? Please call Net Control, K4KMW. All right, that looks like the end of it tonight, folks. Appreciate everyone checking in tonight. I do have a little bulletin of my own here that I want to get across to everyone. I want to remind everyone that on Monday nights we have the Kentucky Emergency Net. It's on 75-80 meter. It's held on 3.972.5 at, let me get this time right, it's 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:30 Eastern Time. I invite everyone to come and join and check in if you have those operating privileges there on 75 meter, 80 meter, and join us for the Kentucky Emergency Net and check in with Roy and just have a good evening of practicing and preparing ourselves for an emergency that I hope we know none of us ever have to deal with. But it's always good to practice and be ready instead of waiting until the time and coming back and realizing that you can't, your station's not working or you can't get through to communicate. So there's no special requirements to join that net, and just throw your name or call sign out there, and someone will pick you up and walk you through to Net Control if you're not getting to that station. I know that man can be a little of a headache at that time of day, but for the most part, everyone works through it, and it's something we all need to try to do there. So I ask the Kentucky Fusion folks that are joining us here on the weekly nets to think about joining us over there. So, and that's all I have. I'm going to check one last time here. Does anyone else want to join the Kentucky Fusion All Digital Net? If so, call Net Control, K4KMW. All right, nothing heard. I would like to thank all stations for checking into this week's session of the Kentucky All Digital Net. Please come again next week when the net meets again next Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'd like to thank the Princeton, Kentucky Ham Radio Club for hosting the Princeton, Kentucky Wires X Room, along with all the repeater owners and Simplex node station owners for allowing this net to even be possible to the many areas and corners of the area that allow us to get out there. And also thank you to the folks there in Tennessee that are joining us. We've enjoyed having you in there as well, and look forward to having you back. Okay. I will now close the Kentucky All Digital Net and return the Wires X Room and frequencies being used back to normal amateur use. This is K4KMW. I'll be clear. 7-3s, everyone. Have a good rest of the weekend.
K4KMW, KM4LDP.
KM4LDP, K4KMW.
I was thinking I got some emails or something about a Aries net somebody's wanting to start, some questions. Was that you involved in the email?
Jeff, that's actually Gary. Gary Wheatley, I believe it is, sent out that email. He's the president of the McCracken County Aries Club here, and yeah, he sent a message out to all the active members that joined that monthly meeting, and we're what it basically is, we're talking about moving the weekly Aries net to a informal communication net, Aries practice net, and I believe he sent out a email just asking anyone that was interested if they wanted to put out there to select a date and time, basically there, Jeff. I don't think it was much other than we were just trying to decide what day, and actually we're going to start using the Aries repeater, which is the 760 machine. Does that answer your question? K4KMW.
Somewhat, yeah. I knew Gary was involved in it, and so do y'all have a weekly net now, and where?
Negative. They have a, I believe it's a once a month net that they do, and they tie it on to the end of the weekly Paranet. I believe they do that once a month. Maybe someone else on here that could explain that a little more. But yes, we're decided to turn it into a weekly net and let some of the hams here in the McCracken area and this end of the state, not just in McCracken County, but anyone who wants to join in on the Aries net to join in and start practicing, prepare ourselves for emergency situations, and maybe get a little more activity out of our Aries group here in the western end of the state.
Okay, well that was what was kind of confusing, because I knew that they did that once a month and on the other net, but I didn't know. I think I responded for my vote, but yeah, that'd be a good thing. Especially to try to get some more practice in. So, okay, I was just wanting to get some clarity. I see your name was thrown in there, I guess, as a net control or something. But, all right, well, that makes sense. I'm sure we'll get more through the email, but I knew you was in there, so I thought I'd holler.
All right, roger that, Jeff. I'll invite you as well. The Aries Club, McCracken County Aries, meets each third Thursday there at the OC building, Emergency Management, McCracken County Emergency Management building. I'll get it out. I'm tongue-tied tonight.
Yeah, I've been over there a couple of times. It's been a while back, and I actually got on the Aries website and downloaded some of the courses in class and got the FRN number and all that, but I hadn't done much with it, so that's, seemed like time just has a way of finding other things to do, but yeah, the nets, I seem like I can do that because I'm usually here at the house.
Okay, yeah, Roger. I think that was the thought, to maybe get folks that are not able to attend the meetings to involve through the net, and looks like we're going to try to attempt a weekly net for the Aries group, and maybe get some practicing in there. I do know that there was a few of the Paducah hams there at the net Thursday night. A few of them were interested in the fusion side of things, and actually one of them told me he was going to try to buy a radio today or tomorrow at the Huntsville Ham Fest. So hopefully he makes it back with that radio and he can join in here on this net with us.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I was at the meeting last month, and nobody at the para meeting really has ever said much about the fusion net. I've kind of spread the word around, but nobody seemed too interested. But some of them, I think, are DMR or whatever that other, I guess it's Kenwood or whatever they've got going on, and I'm not familiar with that because I don't have the DMR rig. But the Aries thing is going to be good, and I'll be glad to get involved with the weekly thing, because I'm sure, just talking to everybody, there's always going to be something come up. And a while back, it's been probably a month ago, I was talking to Gary. I think he was calling a Paranet one night, and he wanted everybody to go to the 7.6 machine to use it because it doesn't get used much. And I thought I had it all programmed in, but I had it on Simplex, didn't have my tone put in there, so that was good to find out. I finally got it in there, and of course I can hit the machine fine now, but you just never know about those things until you use them.
Yes, sir. That's exactly why it's good for us all to be practicing that, because nothing like having an issue like that in the middle of an emergency, and then you're trying to program the radio. So it's good that you found that out, and glad that you'll be hopefully joining us there on that net. And I think I'm not going to be the only net controller. I just volunteered to do the first one, and actually, I think what Gary's intentions are is if it takes off, we'll rotate it through the Aries Club members or anyone that wants to be net control. But everything is so far so good, and I'll invite you as well. I brought it up there a while ago. I know you got the privileges, and I believe you still got the antenna there on the truck. I'm not sure what you got at the QTH, but stop in Monday evening if you're available and join us on the KenNet. Trying to get some more hams interested in this end of the state. There's very few of us that check in District 1 for the KenNet, so just trying to promote that as well. So, all right, back to you, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm going to get off here. Somebody on the 443 machine traveling through, I think, needs some help. I'm going to go talk to them.
Okay, 7-3s, K4KMW.
Well, let's give Kyle a break. W4HNI, W4ID. You still listening to her?
Yeah, as soon as I can find the mic, I am.
Well, I don't know what's happening to your signal, Goober, but like Kyle told you, sometimes you're in there pretty solid and sometimes not so much. Don't know where you're transmitting through, but you're definitely garbled up there a little bit.
When I get somebody that can climb, I'll put in new coax and put up a new antenna, and we'll try it that way. Meantime, I'll try to put up a mobile antenna, see if that helps. It's the first time I've used this radio, but it's brand spanking new, and I don't know what the problem is. I could have a coax problem. It's been up for, I don't know, probably 30 years. So, and the antenna both could have water in them. It's G and one thing could happen.